Today, I'm going to show you how to build your own AI-powered customer support chatbot using Zapier with absolutely no coding. I made this video in partnership with Zapier. We'll create a bot for the Kevin Cookie Company that can answer questions, pull from your business knowledge, and even log support requests automatically. And at the end, I'll show you how to embed the chatbot directly on your website so customers can start using it right away. The best part? Zapier chatbots connect to all your existing tools. So instead of jumping between apps, your bot can actually take action, like creating a support ticket or sending an email. This makes it incredibly powerful for real businesses. I'm Kevin, and let's start creating our chatbot. To follow along, all you need is a Zapier account, and it's free to get started. I've included a link in the description and as a pinned comment. Once you're signed in, click Create on the left-hand side and go down to Chatbots, which is where you can build and customize your chatbots. You don't need any coding experience. Now, Zapier gives me two ways to create a chatbot. I can have Zapier build a starting point automatically based on my website, or I can create one from scratch. For this video, I'll choose Create from Scratch so we can walk through each step and fully customize the bot. Right down here, we could give the bot a name. I'm going to call mine Chip, the cookie helper. Once you enter a name, let's click on Create. Now that the bot's created, we could set up its personality and its behavior. On the left-hand side, I'm in the Instructions tab. This is where you tell your bot how to greet people, and underneath that, how it should respond. For the greeting, I'll keep it simple and just ask, how can I help you today? Below that, we have the directive box. This is the main set of instructions for the bot. Now, overall, the default looks good, but I do need to customize a few things. Right up here in the objective, you are an exceptional customer support representative. Your objective is to answer questions and provide resources about, and you notice I need to customize this. So let's enter in information about the Kevin Cookie Company, a business that bakes and sells a variety of cookies. Now, the rest of this looks good. Right down here, you could also specify the style of the communication for your bot. And at the very bottom, we have other rules. And this one's very important. Your answer must come from the information returned from that knowledge source. In a moment, we'll contribute information to the knowledge source, and it'll use that to answer questions. We don't want our bot making up information. Once all of this looks good, down at the very bottom, let's click on Save Changes. Let's now add the information that the chatbot will use to answer customer questions. Over on the left-hand side, let's click on the Knowledge tab. This is where you can connect documents, web pages, files, and even Zapier tables. Let's start by adding our first knowledge source. Right up on top, I'll click on this button. This opens up a dialog, and right over here, we can select the first source. And I'll start with a website. I'll select this, and right down below, I'll type in the website for the Kevin Cookie Company. Down below, I can also crawl this link for all the subpages. I'll check that box, and then right over here, let's click on Continue. It looks like it found a number of different subpages. Let's check the ones that we would like to include as part of the knowledge source. Go with recipes. Here we have chocolate chip, and let's also go with Clippy's Scrumptious Cookie. Down below, let's click on Add. It's now ingesting all these different sources into its knowledge base. Next, we need to define what should happen if it can't find a response in our knowledge source. Now, by default, it says to generate an AI response without knowledge sources. Now, I'd rather have it show a custom message. So right here, I'll select Show a Custom Message, and it'll simply say, sorry, I don't know. Again, I don't want it making up information. In the bottom right-hand corner, let's click on Save. There we go. We now have our first source. Let's try adding one more. In the top right-hand corner, I'll click on Add Source. This opens up that same dialog again. Let's go back to the Type dropdown, and this time I'd like to add an FAQ file that I have stored in Google Docs. I'll click on this option, and you'll have to start by connecting your Google Docs account. So over here, let's click on Connect. In the top right-hand corner, I'll add a connection. Then select your Google account. Once you finish setting up your account, you'll see the connection right here. Down below, you can now select the file that you would like to include as part of the knowledge base. I'll click on this, and here I see the Kevin Cookie Company FAQ. I'll select this file right here, and in the bottom right-hand corner, let's now add the source. Right up above, you can see that we now have two different sources. Our bot's getting a lot smarter. Before we move on, let's look at some of the settings. Right up here, we have knowledge settings, and we looked at this earlier. This is the fallback response when it can't find an answer. Now, I'm good with this over here. Let's cancel. To the right of that, we also have schedule all. This allows you to schedule how often Zapier refreshes these knowledge sources. This is useful if you have content that changes over time, like let's say a menu or maybe new policies. You can define how often it checks, the day that it should run on, and right over here, you could also specify the time window. Once this is set, the bot will automatically stay up to date without me having to manually upload anything. Right over here, I'll click on save, and the beautiful thing is the knowledge will stay fresh all on its own. So if I update the Google Doc, that information will automatically flow to my bot on the schedule that I specified. Let's now shift to the Logic tab. Over here, I'll click on Logic. This is where we can add extra actions and controls to your chatbot. Right up at the very top, we can collect contact information from users. Underneath that, we can add buttons that trigger a zap. Here we have a zap, and at the very bottom, we even have suggestions that help guide the conversation. If you haven't heard of a zap before, and maybe you're wondering what that is, it's an automated workflow in Zapier that connects two or more apps together. If you want a full walkthrough on how zaps work and how to build them, I have a dedicated Zapier video linked right down below in the description. In my case, if the chatbot can't answer a customer's question, I want to make sure I collect their information so I can follow up. So right up on top, let's click on Collect Leads. On this page, I'll create a new table to store this information. Down below, I can see all the different types of fields that the chatbot will collect if it doesn't have an answer for the customer. So I have the name, the email, the phone, and the company. Now, for cookie business, I don't know if I need a customer's company. So over here, I could delete that field. If we click on Add Field, I could also add additional custom fields. However, I don't need any others. I think these three work well. Right here, I could define when to ask for this information. At the beginning of a conversation, after a few messages, when certain keywords are used, but I really just need this when the chatbot cannot provide an answer. So I'll select this option. Down below, everything else looks good. So let's click on Create Logic. This opens up a new tab where we can see the table with the three fields, the name, the email, and the phone. This all looks good. So let's jump back to the chatbot. Right up above, let's go back to the previous tab. The logic looks good. So over on the left-hand side, let's now move on to the theme. This is where we can adjust the look and feel of the chatbot. So you could set things like the avatar, the logo, embed icon, and down below, you could also adjust the colors. Right up on top, let's choose an avatar. I'll click on Choose Image, and here we have the chip avatar. Let's click on Open, and that'll now upload him. Let's go down a little bit more, and I also want to customize the color. I'll click on Custom Color, and let's go with white. I think this all looks good, so down below, I'll click on Save Changes. Over on the right-hand side, we could preview what it looks like. Here we have that nice, modern, and sleek white background, and we also see Chip the avatar, and look at that, he's waving at us. How cute. Over on the left-hand side, let's now shift into integrations. This is where you can connect your chatbot to services like Slack, Facebook Messenger, Gmail, Zendesk, or you could even build your own from scratch. These options let the bot send or receive messages through these different platforms. Now, you could even build your own integration from scratch if you want even more advanced workflows. For this video, we're going to keep things simple and just focus on the chatbot itself. So I'll skip all of these integrations for now. Over on the left-hand side, let's now shift into the AI model. Here, you can choose what model powers your chatbot. Right up on top, we have two different options. You have OpenAI GPT 4.1 Mini or 4.0 Mini. Those are the default options. However, if you would like access to even more models, right up here, you can connect your OpenAI or your Anthropic account, and then those different models can power your chatbot. Down below, you can also set the creativity that your chatbot can take. Now, I'm going to stick with all the defaults, and this all looks good. Now that everything's set up, let's try out the chatbot. Over on the right-hand side, I have the preview window. Here, I could talk to it just like a customer would. Let's start with a few common questions to make sure it responds the way I expect it to. Let's ask something simple. Down below, I'll type in, what are your store hours? And then let's send that through. Right up above, I can see the store hours and everything appears to be accurate. This lets me check that it's pulling from the knowledge I added earlier. Now, let's try something it shouldn't know. So down below, let's type in another question. How many employees work at the Kevin Cookie Company? We don't have that information on the website, and it's certainly not in the FAQ. Let's submit that. Since it doesn't know the answer, right up on top, it says, sorry, I don't know. And then it also asks me for information like the name, email, and phone number so someone on our support team can follow up. Testing here is quick and easy. Now that the chatbot's ready, let's try adding it to a website. In the top right-hand corner, let's click on the button that says Share, and we have a few different options. You can invite other people to work with you on this chatbot. Now, I don't need any assistance, so over here, let's click on Public Link. Here, you could get a public link that you can share with others, and that'll bring them to Zapier, where they could then interact directly with the chatbot. Right up on top, we can see what this experience looks like. And if we go back, you can also embed it directly on your website, and you have two different options. You could place it on your website as a pop-up, and here, we see that option, or you can place it inline onto your website. Now, I'd like to place it inline on the site, so I'll click on this option, and down below, you could get a script, or you could copy an iframe. I'll go with a script right here, and let's copy the embed code. Now, go to your website builder. I'm using Google Sites, but this works with WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, and many others. Now, right over on the right-hand side in the insert menu, I'll insert embed code, and let's go with embed code. And here I could paste in the code, click on next, and let's insert that onto the page. Over here, let's center it. So it's right here in the middle of the page under support. And there I can see the chatbot appear on the page. In the top right-hand corner, I'll now click on publish, and let's see what it looks like live on the site. I'm now on the website, and here I see Chip the Cookie Helper. Let's jump down to the bottom and let's ask a question. Where are you located? And then let's submit that. Perfect. Look at that. 123 Sweet Street, Cookieville, USA. Back within Zapier, I can view all conversations. This is where I can see how customers and people are interacting with the chatbot that we just built. Over on the left-hand side, under the review category, let's click on conversations. Here, I can check what customers are asking. We could check for any issues, and we could also make improvements based on those interactions. For example, here I asked where the store is located, and the bot responded with the correct address from the knowledge base. Once you start having more and more conversations, you can also check how it's performing over time. On the left-hand side, let's click into analytics. Here, you can track the number of conversations, messages, the number of links that were clicked, and as more people use the bot, this page will fill in with trends. Here we have top keywords, the sentiment score, and you have additional data. This helps you understand what customers are asking and how well the bot's responding. And just like that, we now have a fully working customer support chatbot for the Kevin Cookie Company. That was really easy. If you want to learn more about building Zaps or connecting this chatbot to other apps, I have a full Zapier tutorial linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.